Hello, Eric. Could you comment on the notion of decision-making? If we perceive we have a choice between taking one path and the other path, what's the process that's going on? Do we really have a choice? Can we really decide something? Or do we just act? What's driving us?
You must live according to your own belief. Only in this genuineness you can discover how you function. So if you believe you have a choice, you must explore this belief in open-minded. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. So just explore. While exploring that, you may come to some different opinion. You may realize that, like you go to with your brother to a dancing, and you look at all the girl, and you hesitate, and then you go and propose this one to dance. It took you 10 minutes to decide, but your brother 10 minutes before knew which one you're going to propose. So you thought to decide this girl, to go to talk with this girl. In fact, you didn't. When you didn't know yet that all the structure of all your hormonal level, or your whole life made you that you think you're going to invite this girl. So after you think to decide, but actually somebody who knows you better than you, like your mother or your brother and so on, will know much before. So if you do that a certain number of times, you may realize that decision is a kind of poetical expression of life, but it doesn't come from the fact. In the fact, we are decided. I think you don't decide. It's not a decision. You don't decide the sexuality. You don't decide to be gay or straight. You don't decide to like spicy food or not. You don't decide if you like to make love in a very soft way and a very violent way. You don't decide if you like Belgian music or Uzbek music or Indian music. You don't decide if you prefer what you really decide. So you don't decide your ability, you don't decide your intelligence, you don't decide your strength, you don't decide your health. What can you really decide? It's kind of fantasy. But as long as we have this strong feeling I decide, I must explore it because we are there to explore what comes to us. But generally, the exploration may prove you that, oh, this, yes, I didn't decide this, oh, yes, and then you may realize you may never decide anything. Things come to you from the fact. Like you go in a restaurant, you decide to take this and not this food, but in fact, no, you all structure the body, you all make that this color, I can't stand this color, I love this color, I can't take this smell, I love this smell. It's not a decision, it's something we just notice. So the dilemma, should I choose this or that, at some point is going to be replaced by the living with the fact. What can I not decide? This I do decide. And so I do think because I cannot do other way. And it's not something, it's not that I lose my abilities, I just lose my debate inside debate, which was irrelevant because in any case I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I don't need to pretend like somebody would decide every night I will stop drinking and then drink again and stop drinking. I decide is why not? That's when I don't decide to stop drinking. Why? Because I drink. I drink, and then by getting intimate with this whole pattern of my drinking, maybe something will change. But you said I will not drink again. Why not? But it's wishful thinking. So decision is more something which you appropriate yourself because of the education, the family, people tell you, you must decide, don't make a mistake. And it's very sweet. But you cannot make a mistake. Life is easy. the mistake you made, when you were due to make them, in fact, they were calling maturity. So even if you married the wrong dog, it's not a mistake. Your maturity belongs to that. So at some point, you don't call your mistake, you call them your chance, because your maturity comes from that. What comes easy in life brings you nothing. All the difficulty you face give you maturity. But then we call it, was my mistake. No, not your mistake. That will give you maturity. It will chance, actually. So chance and mistake will be replaced by the fact of intensity. And at some point, if somebody asks you about your life, you will not be able to say that this good happened to me, this bad happened to me, because it's not such a thing. But this intensity happened to me. Divorce happened there, the wedding happened there, and the money was there, and the poverty was there, and health was there, and youth was there, and all that was there. And the idea to see some as right and some as wrong, some are positive, some are negative, is something that will at some point vanish from your mind, because there's no such a thing. The life is a totality, and got it in peace, but no such a thing. So, but if there is a moment in life where you feel there's a will in you and you must decide, you must surrender to the point, because it's a fact. You see it that way, so you accept it. But by accepting it, you discover inner layer of your abilities, inner layer of sensitivity, and then one day when you realize that you could not do what you've done, the idea to hesitate, the idea to question your action will go, because you could not do what you do, even if you whatever you've done, which you think was a mistake. Look at it better. It could not happen differently. So, otherwise, it is philosophy. When the trees fall on your house, you know the bad trees, you have nothing against you. It's fact of life. Of course, you experiment it as something violent, as something horrible, but it is what it is. Of course, if the trees fall in another country, in another house, but that's normal, it is natural with the tempest. But if it's for a new house, what did I do? Maybe I did something wrong, I should not have. No, trees fall in houses, it's called life. There's nothing to comment on it. So sometimes we experience it as pain, sometimes as pleasure, and sometimes it's fall on the neighbors. And you can breathe better, but it doesn't. So it's only our interpretation who makes something bad or good. But it's good for you, it's bad for the neighbor, and the opposite way. So at some point you don't take yourself in a certain way for a point of view. So choosing is if it comes naturally, explore it, but then it becomes a point where the idea of having any choice goes. There's resonance. You meet a woman, you meet a dog, you meet a car, you meet a country, you meet a style of music. You feel it. It's not a decision. You resonate with it, and it's a call for you. You don't need that something I decide this. No, it's an evidence. It's a dance. Life is kind of a dance in a way. So some situation that touch you, and you feel the contact, and you feel and you let go of the feeling. There's no decision. It's from outside. Of course, the society must know that you decide willingly or not, because there's some law and this is legal, this is illegal. But for you, it is feeling. After the neighbor judge you, this is wrong, what you do, this is right, then everybody is entitled to his opinion. But for you, it's not right or wrong, it is inevitable. It is something that comes really from feeling.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.